until tonight when it is lit. Oh, how much?
1 krona.
Here's 2. And keep the change.
Oh, thank you.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. He's home, he's home. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Dawn we now are
songbird chirping out there?
carol.
My little songbird.
Yes. Fa la 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 la.
Is that my squirrel scurrying
Troll
around?
the ancient Yuletide carol. Oh yes, come in here, Torvald, and see what I bought.
I don't want to be disturbed. Did you say bought? All of that? Has my little bird been wasting money again?
Yes, but Torvald, we can spend a little money. It's the first Christmas. We don't have to scrimp and save.
But Nora, we can't just spend.
Well, Torvald, of course we can. Can't we? Just a teeny, tiny bit. Oh, you're going to get a big salary and make lots and lots of money.
Yes. After New Year's. But I won't be paid for 3 months.
We can borrow until then.
Nora. Now then, little Miss Frivolous, suppose that I borrowed 1,000 kroner today and you spend every penny over Christmas. Then on New Year's Eve, as I'm walking down the street, I get hit on the head by a falling roof tile, and I lie there, dying.
Oh, shush. If anything that awful happened, oh, I'd be so devastated. I wouldn't care if I owed money or not.
What about the people I borrowed from?
Them? Who cares about them? They're strangers.
At 2, Nora. Seriously, you know what I think about that. No debt. Never borrow. A house built on debt can never be a beautiful home. We've made it this long. Surely we can brave it out a few more months.
Yes, yes, as you wish, Torvald.
There, there. The songlark mustn't droop her wings. What, is my squirrel pouting? Nora, what do you think I have here?
Money?
Yes. I know there's a lot of household expenses at Christmas time.
10, 20, 30, 40? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Torvald. I'll manage very well with this. But come here and see what I bought, and so cheaply, too. Here are new clothes for Ivar, and a saber, a horse, and a trumpet for Olaf. Oh, a doll and a doll's bed for Emmy. It's so plain, but she'll quickly tear it apart anyways. And here are new dress materials and shawls for the maids. Though Anne-Marie should really have something nicer.
And what's in that package?
No, no, Torvald. You can't see that until this evening.
I can't. Well, tell me, what did you have in mind for yourself?
Oh, if you wanted to give me something, then you could...
I could?
You could give me money, Torvald. Only as much as you think you can spare. Then, later on, I'll buy something I need.
Nora.
Oh, do it, dear Torvald. I beg you. Well, we could hang the money in pretty gold paper on the Christmas tree. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yes, if you could hang on to the money and really buy something for yourself with it. But of course, you'll just spend it on the house, and then I'll just have to give you more.
Oh, Torvald,
you can't deny it. My sweet little Nora. Songbirds are sweet, but they spend a lot of money.
If you only knew how many expenses we larks and squirrels have, Torvald.
You're a strange little creature. Just like your father, very clever at getting money, but as soon as you have it, it slips through your fingers. Well, I must hate you as you are. It's in your blood. It's inherited, Nora.
Oh, I wish I had inherited many of Papa's other qualities.
I wouldn't wish you any other way. Wait a minute. You look so guilty today.
Do I?
Yes, you do. Look me straight in the eyes.
Well?
Huh. Has little Miss Sweet Tooth been loose in town today?
No, how could you think that?
She didn't take a detour down to the pastry shop?
No, Torvald.
Not nibble a macaroon or two?
No, really, I assure you.
Of course, I'm only joking.
I wouldn't dream of going against your wishes.
I know. Besides, you promised. Well, you can keep your little Christmas secrets to yourself. I'm sure that all will be revealed tonight when the tree is lit.
Oh, you remembered to invite Dr. Wright?
He'll be here, but I'll make sure when he comes by this morning. I've ordered a nice wine. Nora, you can't believe how much I'm looking forward to tonight.
Oh, me too. And the children will be so happy, Torvald.
To think what I've achieved. A secure position, a generous income. I can't stop thinking about it.
It's wonderful.
Remember last Christmas? You locked yourself in every night to make flowers and decorations for the Christmas tree. It was the most boring time I ever lived through.
I wasn't bored at all.
And then the cat.
Oh, don't tease me. How could I know the cat would get in and tear everything to pieces?
Of course you couldn't, my darling. You had only the best intentions to make us happy. I'm glad those lean times are over.
Oh, me too. It's really wonderful. Oh, now I'll tell you what I've been thinking. As soon as Christmas is over... Oh, there's the doorbell! How annoying!
Remember, I'm not home to visitors.
Ma'am, there's a strange lady here.
Yes, show her in.
And the doctor came out at the same time.
Did he go straight into my office?
Yes, he did.
Good day, Nora.
Good day.
You probably don't recognize me.
What? Oh, Christine? Is it really you?
Yes, it's me.
Christine, I didn't recognize you. But then how could I? You have changed,
I
Christine.
have, and I know, 10 long years.
Has it been that long since we last saw each other? Oh, let's sit by the stove. No, in the armchair. It's more comfortable. There. Now you look like your old self. It was just that first moment. But you have gotten a little paler, Christine, and perhaps a little thinner.
And much, much older, Nora.
Perhaps a little older. Just a teeny tiny bit, not much at all. Oh, how thoughtless of me. I'm sitting here talking. Oh, dear, sweet Christine, can you forgive me?
What do you mean?
Poor Christine, you've become a widow.
Yes, 3 years ago.
Of course I knew. I read about it in the papers. Oh, you must believe me. I often thought of writing to you, but something always got in the way. I always
Nora,
postponed it.
I understand completely.
No, it was bad of me. Oh, you poor thing. You've gone through so much. And he didn't leave you anything to live on.
No.
And no children?
No.
Nothing at all.
Nothing. Not even grief to occupy my thoughts.
Christine, how is that possible?
Oh, it happens now and then.
So absolutely alone. Oh, how terrible that must be for you. I have 3 beautiful children. Oh, well, you can't see them right now because they're out with their nanny, Anne-Marie. But now you must tell me all.
No, you must
No, you must begin. Today I don't want to be selfish. Today I only want to think of you. Oh, I must tell you one thing though. Did you hear of our great, good fortune?
No. Well, what is it?
My husband has been made the director of the stock bank.
Your husband, how lucky.
Yes, enormously lucky. Oh, it was so hard for Torvald to make a living as a lawyer. So you can imagine how happy we are with the new position at the bank. He starts on New Year's and he's going to get a big salary. Oh, I am so happy, Christine. It's lovely, isn't it? To have lots of money and not have to worry.
Yes, it must be lovely to have enough to live on.
Not only enough, but lots and lots of money.
Nora, haven't you grown up? At school, you were always so careless with money.
Yes, that's what Torvald still says. But Nora isn't as silly as you all think. We have had to be very careful. We've had to work, both of us.
You too.
Yes, with little things. Handcraft, crocheting, embroidery and such. And with other things too. Oh, you know Torvald left the government after we were married. He needed a better salary. Oh, that first year, he worked so terribly hard and took on all kinds of extra work. But his constitution couldn't take it, and he got terribly ill. The doctors said it was necessary to go to the south of Europe.
You spent a whole year in Italy, didn't you?
Yes. It wasn't easy to get away. Ivar had just been born, but oh, we had to go. It was a wonderful journey, Christine. It saved Torvald's life. But it cost a lot of money.
I can well imagine.
4,800 kroner. Oh, that's a lot of money.
How lucky you had it.
Oh, we got it from my father.
But didn't your father die around that time?
Yes, he did. Oh, it was so hard, Christine. I couldn't go to Papa and nurse him. Oh, my dear, kind Papa. I never saw him again, Christine.
I know, you were very fond of him. But then you went to Italy.
Yes, we left a month later.
And your husband came back completely cured.
Healthy as a horse.
But the doctor?
What?
The maid said that he was a doctor. The gentleman that was here at the same time I was?
Oh, that's Dr. Rank, but he doesn't come here on house calls. He's our closest friend, and he comes by at least once a day. No, Torvald hasn't had a sick hour since. And the children are healthy. And me too. Oh God, Christine. Oh, it's really wonderful to be alive and happy, isn't it? Oh, how awful of me. I am only talking of myself. Oh, please, don't be angry with me. You really didn't love your husband. Then why did you marry him?
My mother was still alive, but she was bedridden and helpless, and I also had my 2 younger brothers to think of. I didn't think I could very well reject his offer.
No, you may be right about that. So, he was rich?
He was fairly well off, but the business world is very uncertain, Nora. When he died, the whole thing went under, and there was nothing left.
And then?
Well, then I had to manage with whatever I could find, a small house and then a small school. The past 3 years have felt like one long work day without any rest. Now it's over. My mother's passed away, and my younger brothers have found work and can support themselves.
You must feel so relieved.
No, only unspeakably empty. No one to live for anymore. That's why I couldn't endure it in that little backwater. I thought that there must be something here that could fill my time and occupy my thoughts. If only I could be lucky enough to secure a permanent position, some office work.
Oh, but Christine, that is so terribly hard. And you look so worn out. It would be much better for you if you could go to a spa.
I don't have a papa to give me travel money, Nora.
Oh, please don't be angry with me.
No, dear Nora, don't you be angry with me. The thing about a position like mine, it fills you with so much bitterness. No one to work for, but still pinching pennies, and then you become selfish. Would you believe it? When I heard of your good fortune, I was not so glad as for you, but as for me.
How so? Oh, you mean that Torvald might be able to do something for you?
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, and he will, Christine. Just leave it to me. Oh, I really want to help you.
That is so kind of you, Nora, especially since you know so little of life's burdens.
I know so little of.
Good Lord, Nora. A little handcraft and such. You're a child.
Don't be so condescending.
Nora.
Oh, you're like the others. You all think I'm not capable of anything really serious.
You just told me all of your troubles.
Those Trifles? I haven't told you the big thing.
What big thing?
You look down on me, Christine. You shouldn't do that.
I don't look down on anyone.
You're proud of having worked so long and hard for your mother and brothers.
Yes.
I have something to be proud of, too.
Yes? Well, what is it?
It was me. I saved Torvald's life.
Saved? Saved how?
I told you about the trip to Italy. Torvald would not have survived if we hadn't gone.
But your father gave you the money.
Yes. That's what Torvald and the others think. But Papa gave us nothing. It was me. I came up with the money.
You? The whole amount?
4,800 kroner. What do you think of that?
But how did you get it? Because you couldn't borrow it.
Oh, and why not?
A wife cannot borrow without her husband's consent.
Who says I borrowed the money? Maybe I got it some other way. Maybe I got it from an admirer when you're as attractive
Nora,
as
have you lost your mind?
I think that you are dying of curiosity, Christine.
Nora, you haven't done anything foolish?
Was it foolish to save my husband's life?
It seems to me that it was foolish without his knowledge.
Oh, for God's sakes, he couldn't even be told how seriously ill he was. The doctors came to me and said that his life was in danger. Do you think I didn't try to cajole him at first? I cried. I pleaded. I reminded him about my condition and that he should humor me. Finally, I suggested we take out a loan. He got angry, Christine. He told me that I was irresponsible and that it was his duty as my husband not to humor me in my whims and caprices. That's what he called them. And I thought to myself, yes, you must be saved. And I came up with a way
And
to...
you didn't tell your husband.
No! For heaven's sake, Torvald and his male ego. It would be painful and humiliating for him to know he owed me anything. It would wreck our relationship, destroy our beautiful, happy home.
Will you ever tell him?
Yes, one day, maybe many years from now, when I'm no longer as pretty as I am now. Oh, don't look like that. Then it might be good to have something up my sleeve. Well, what do you say about my secret, Christine? Am I not useful, too? It's not been easy to make my payments on time. It has been a burden, Christine, because it is, after all, lovely to walk around beautifully dressed.
Yes, it is.
I've had other sources of income, too. Last winter, I was lucky to get lots of copy work. I sat there and wrote and locked myself away every evening till late at night. Many times I was so tired. But still, it was tremendous fun to sit there and work and earn money. Oh, it was almost as if I was a man.
How much have you been able to pay back?
Well, I can't tell exactly. I only know that I have managed to pay off everything I could scrape together. Sometimes I would sit here and imagine that a rich old gentleman had fallen in love with me.
Nora,
and
what
we would
gentleman?
die, and when they opened his will, there in big letters, it would
Nora.
say, "All my money shall be paid out immediately in
Nora.
cash to the lovable Miss Nora Helmer."
Nora, what gentleman?
Oh, for God's sakes, he doesn't exist. It was only something I imagined over and over again when I couldn't figure out how to make my next payment. Oh, but now I have no worries, Christine. Can you imagine? To be worry-free. Oh, yes, it's wonderful to be alive and happy.
Maybe I'd better go.
No, you stay. I get very few visitors. I suppose it's for Torvald.
Excuse me, Mrs. There's a gentleman here who wants to speak with the attorney.
With the bank director, you mean?
Yes, the bank director. But the doctor is in there, so I wasn't sure.
Who is this gentleman?
It's me, Mrs. Helmer.
You. What is it? What do you want to talk to my husband about?
Bank business, in a way. I hear that that your husband is going to be our new director.
So it is.
Only routine business, Mrs. Helmer. Nothing more.
Yes. Would you be so kind as to go through the office door?
Nora, who was that man?
That was just a lawyer, Krogstad.
So it really was him.
Do you know that person?
Yes, I used to. He was a law clerk up there where I lived.
Oh, yes, that's right.
He's changed.
I think that he had a very unhappy marriage.
He's a widower now, right?
Yes, with many children. There now. Now it's catching.
They say he was involved in all different kinds of businesses.
Yes, I suppose. I really don't know, but
No,
let's not talk
I don't
of
want to
business.
be in the way. I'd rather see your wife.
It's so boring.
Oh, excuse me. I guess I'm in the way here too.
No, not at all. Dr. Rank, Mrs. Linde.
Linde. A name that is often heard in this house. I think I passed the lady on the stairs when I came up.
Yes, I climb stairs very slowly.
Oh. Having a little internal trouble.
Just overworked.
Is that all? So, you have come to town to rest up at all the Christmas parties.
I've come to seek employment.
Is that the right cue for overwork?
We all must live,
Yeah.
Doctor.
It's a generally held opinion.
Oh, shame on you, Dr. Rank. Really, you want to live just as much as the next person.
Yes, I do. However pitiful I am, I would like to continue being played for as long as possible. All my patients feel the same way. Even the morally rotten ones want to leave. Right now, there's one such case in there with Helmer.
Oh, who do you mean?
Oh, it's this lawyer, Krogstad. Someone you don't know at all. He is rotted to the core, Mrs. Helmer. But even he just now was making the grand statement. We all must leave.
So, what did he want to talk to Torvald about?
I honestly don't know. Well, it was something about the stock bank.
I didn't know that this lawyer, Krogstad, had anything to do with the bank.
Yeah, he's got some kind of employment there.
Oh, tell me, Dr. Rank. From now on, everyone employed in the bank will answer to Torvald.
You find that funny?
Yes. Oh, it's enormously amusing. Oh, to think that that Torvald has so much influence over so many people. Just leave it to me. Dr. Rank, would you like a macaroon?
Uh-huh. Macaroon? I thought they were contraband here.
Yes. Well, Christine gave me these.
What? No.
Well, don't be alarmed. How could you know Torvald has forbidden them? He's afraid they'll rot my teeth. But for once, isn't that true, Dr. Rank? Be so good. And one for you too, Christine. And I, of course, will have one. Only a little one, or at most two. I am so incredibly happy. Right now, there is just one thing that I have the enormous desire to do.
Well, what is it?
I have an enormous desire to say something and have Torvald hear me say it.
So why you can't say it?
No, I don't dare. It is so ugly.
Ugly.
Well, then it's not advisable, but surely you can tell us.
I have an enormous desire to say, oh, God damn it to hell!
Are you insane? Here he comes! Here he comes! Say it!
Did you get rid of him, Torvald, dear?
Yes, he left.
Then may I introduce This is Christine, who has just come to town, Mrs. Christine Linde.
Ah, so presumably a childhood friend of my wife's.
Yes, we knew each other when we were girls.
She's made the long journey into town for a chance to talk to you.
About what?
Christine, you see, is enormously clever at office work, and she has a tremendous desire to work under a capable man and learn more.
Very sensible, Mrs. Linde.
When she heard that you had become a bank director, well, there was a telegram about that. She traveled as quickly as she could to town and, oh, you can do some little thing for Christine. For my sake, can't you?
It's not at all impossible. I presume Mrs. Linde is a widow
Yes.
and has experience with office work.
Yes, quite a bit.
In that case, it's very likely I'd get you employment.
Oh, there, you see?
You've come at a very fortunate moment, Mrs. Linde.
How can I thank you?
No need. But today you must excuse me.
Oh, wait. I'll go with you.
Don't stay out too long.
1 hour, no more.
Are you leaving too, Christine?
Yes, I've got to go find a room.
We'll walk down the street together.
Thank you, Nora, for everything.
Goodbye for now. You will, of course, come back this evening. And you too, Dr. Rank. Just stay warm. Oh, here they come.
Come, Mrs. Linde, this place is no longer comparable to anyone other than mother.
Oh, Christine. Look at them, Christine. Aren't they lovely? My sweet, healthy, brave darlings. Oh, no, you can't come in here. Go warm yourselves in the kitchen. Oh, you look so frozen. There's coffee on the stove for you. When you get your indoor shoes on, we will play hide and seek.
Come on, my dears, to the kitchen. Oh, no, you don't. You can't go through that way. Your mama said no.
Go around to the kitchen. Are you ready?
They're ready.
Go hide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Excuse me, Mrs. Helmer?
You? What do you want? My husband is not home, Mr. Krogstad.
I know.
Yes, then what do you want?
To speak with you.
With Henrik. Tell the children I have a visitor. I will play with them as soon as he's gone.
Yes, Mrs. Nora. Oh, Olaf.
Oh, Olaf, sweetheart. Go with Anne-Marie to the kitchen. What? No. The strange man isn't going to hurt Mama. I promise. When he is gone, we will play. You want to speak with me?
Yes.
Today, but it's not the first of the month yet.
I know. It's Christmas Eve.
What do you want?
I was sitting in Olson's restaurant when I saw your husband walking down the street
Yes?
with a lady.
So?
May I be so bold as to ask, was that lady a Mrs. Linde?
Yes.
Just come to town.
Yes, today.
She is a good friend of yours, isn't she?
Yes, she is, but I don't understand.
I also knew her once.
I know.
So, you know about that. I thought as much. May I ask, will Mrs. Linde be employed at the stock bank?
Yes, Mrs. Linde will have a position there. I am the one who spoke on her behalf, Mr. Krogstad. Now you know.
So I added it all up correctly.
I do have a little bit of influence. A subordinate, like you, Mr. Krogstad, really needs to be careful not to offend anyone.
Who has influence?
Precisely.
Mrs. Helmer, would you be good enough to use your influence on my behalf?
What? What do you mean?
Would you be so kind as to make sure that I keep my subordinate position at the bank?
Who is taking your position from you?
Oh, you don't have to pretend. I see that your friend doesn't want to risk running into me. I also see who I have to thank for being dismissed.
But I assure you.
Yes. Here's my point. There is still time, and I advise you to use your influence to prevent it.
But Mr. Krogstad, I have no influence.
You don't? You just said
Of course I didn't mean it like that. How could you think I would have that kind of influence over my husband?
Oh, I know your husband. We were at law school together. I don't think Mr. Bank Director is any more principled than other married men.
If you speak with contempt about my husband, I will show you the door.
The lady has spirit.
I am no longer afraid of you. After the new year, I will be out from under all of this.
Now listen to me, Mrs. Helmer. If it becomes necessary to keep my position at the bank, I will fight to the death.
Yes, so it would seem.
It's not for the sake of the money. That's the least important thing to me. It's something else. You know that once, a number of years ago, I was guilty of an indiscretion.
Yes, I think I heard something about that.
The thing did not go to trial, but all doors were immediately closed to me. I had no choice but to go into all of these various side businesses. I had to do something. And I have to say, I was not among the worst. But now I want out of it. My sons are growing up. For their sake, I must regain as much middle-class respectability as I can. This modest position at the bank was the first step on the ladder for me, and now your husband wants to rip it out from under me, plunging me back into the gutter.
For God's sakes, Mr. Krogstad, it is absolutely not within my power to help you.
Because you don't want to. But I can force you to.
You won't tell my husband that I owe you money.
What if I do?
That would be a shameful thing to do. This secret is my joy and my pride. If he were to find out in such an ugly and coarse way, be told about it by you, oh, it would be terribly unpleasant.
Unpleasant.
If my husband finds out, he will immediately pay off the rest of my loan.
Mrs. Helmer, you have a bad memory, or you obviously have no idea what it is our business is about. Let me explain things more thoroughly. When your husband was sick, you came to me to borrow 4,800 kroner.
I didn't know where else to turn.
I promised to get you the money against a promissory note which I drafted.
Yes, and I signed.
Good. But at the bottom, I added a few lines in a clause stating that your father would guarantee the debt. Your father was going to sign on those lines.
Was going to, but he did sign.
I left the date blank. Your father would date his own signature. Do you remember that, Mrs. Helmer?
Yes, I think so.
Then I gave the promissory note to you so that you could mail it to your father. Wasn't that so?
Yes.
You did that right away because about 5 or 6 days later, you brought me the note with your father's signature, and then you received the money.
Haven't I made payments regularly?
Reasonably well, yes, but back to the matter at hand. This was a difficult time for you, Mrs. Helmer?
Yes, it was.
Your father was very ill, I think.
He was on his deathbed. He was dying.
Died not too long after that, right?
Yes.
Mrs. Helmer, do you remember the day of your father's death, perhaps? What day of the month it was, I mean.
Papa died September 29th.
That's right! I made inquiries into that. So there's just one peculiarity that I can't explain.
What peculiarity? I don't know.
Here is the peculiarity, Mrs. Helmer. Your father signed the promissory note 3 days after his death.
How? I don't understand.
Your father died September 29th. But look here. Here he dates his signature October 2nd. Isn't that peculiar, Mrs. Helmer? Can you explain that? It is important to note that the words October 2nd in the year are not written in your father's hand. Well, that can be easily explained. Your father could have forgotten to date his signature, and then someone else randomly went in and wrote a date there before they knew that he had died. There is nothing wrong with that. It is the signature that this hinges on. That is genuine, isn't it, Mrs. Helmer? It really was your father who signed his name?
No, it wasn't. It was me. I wrote Papa's name.
You do realize that this is a dangerous admission, Mrs. Helmer?
Why? You will soon have your money.
May I ask you something? Why didn't you mail the note to your father?
It was impossible. Papa was in bed, sick. If I asked for his signature, I would have to tell him what the money was for.
Then you should have given up that trip abroad.
That trip was to save my husband's life.
Didn't it occur to you that you were defrauding me?
I couldn't concern myself with that. I didn't care about you at all the difficulties you put me through, even though you knew how dangerously ill my husband was.
Mrs. Helmer, you obviously have no idea what it is you're guilty of. But let me tell you, what you have done is neither better nor worse than what I did. Just once, and it ruined my entire position in society.
You want me to think you did something brave to save your wife's life?
The laws don't ask about motivation.
Then they must be very bad laws.
Bad or not, if I show this paper in court, you will be judged according to them.
I don't think so. Shouldn't a daughter have the right to spare her dying father anxiety and worry? Shouldn't a wife have the right to save her husband's life? I don't know the law so well, but I am sure such things are allowed. Oh, and you're a lawyer. You must be a bad one, Mr. Krogstad.
That may be. But the business we're in together, you know I'm good at that. Now, do whatever you want, but let me tell you this. If I am cast out of society for the second time, you will keep me company.
Trying to scare me. But, no. But sure, it is impossible. I did it for love.
Mrs. Nora, Ivar says he saw the strange man leave.
Tell Ivar not to speak about that strange man to anyone. Not his papa either. Do you hear?
Yes, Mrs. Nora. The children want to know if you'll play with them now.
No, not now.
Oh, but Mrs. Nora, you did promise.
I can't now. I have so much to do. Will you stay with them, dear Anne-Marie? No! Helene, bring the tree in here. No, but sure it is impossible.
Where should I put it, ma'am?
There.
Should I get anything else?
No, thank you. I have what I need. Candles here. Flowers here. Horrible person! Nothing is wrong. The Christmas tree will be beautiful. Oh, are you back already?
Yes. Has someone been here?
Here? No.
That's strange. I just saw Krogstad leave the building.
Really? Oh, yes, Krogstad was here
Nora.
for a moment.
I can tell by looking at you. He was here begging you to put in a good word for him.
Yes.
And you were going to act like it was your own idea? You were going to keep his visit a secret from me? Did he beg for that too?
Yes, Torvald, but...
Nora, you were going to let yourself go along with that. Talk with someone like him, make him a promise. And to top it off, lie to me.
Lie?
Didn't you say that no one had been here? My little songbird must never do that again. A songbird must sing pure and clear, never false notes. Isn't that the way it should be? Yes, I know it is.
Torvald!
Yes.
I am enormously excited about the costume party at the Stenborgs upstairs the day after tomorrow.
And I am enormously eager to see what you're going to surprise me with.
Are you very busy, Torvald?
I persuaded the board of directors to give me full authority to make all the necessary changes in staff and administrative procedures. I want to have everything in order by New Year's.
So that's why poor Krogstad.
Hmm?
If you weren't so busy, I would ask you for an enormously big favor, Torvald.
What might that be?
No one has your good tastes. I'd like to look good at the costume party. Oh, Torvald, will you take me under your wing and help decide what costume I should wear?
I'll think about it. We'll come up with something.
Thank you, dear. Oh, how pretty the red flowers look. But tell me, what is this Krogstad guilty of? Is it really so bad?
Forgery. Do you have any idea what that means?
Couldn't he have done it out of sheer need?
Or out of thoughtlessness, like so many others. I'm not so heartless as to unconditionally condemn a man because of a single act.
No, I know
A
you're
man
not.
can get on his feet again by openly confessing his crime and enduring his punishment.
Punishment?
Krogstad didn't take that path. He manipulated the situation to his advantage with tricks and schemes, and it corrupted him morally.
Do you think that it would?
Just imagine how someone like him must lie and pretend to everyone around him. Must wear a mask for his nearest and dearest. Yes, even his own wife and children. And this thing with the children, that's the most dreadful part, Nora.
Why?
Because such a miasma of lies brings contagion and sickness into a home. Every breath his children take is filled with the germs of something ugly.
Are you sure of that?
My dear, I saw enough of that when I was a lawyer. Almost everyone corrupted early in life had a deceitful mother.
And why only the mother?
It derives mostly from the mother, but fathers, of course, have the same influence. For years, this Krogstad has been poisoning his own children with lies and deception, and that's why he's morally corrupt. So, my sweet little Nora, promise me not to plead his case. Your hand on that. Well, what's this? Give me your hand. I assure you, it would be impossible to work with him. I become physically ill in the presence of someone like that.
It's hot in here. And I have so much to take care of.
And I must read this before dinner and think about your costume. And maybe I'll have something to hang in gold paper on the Christmas tree.
Are asking so sweetly if they can come into their mama now.
No! No, no, do not let them come in here. You stay with them, Anne-Marie?
Yes, yes, Mrs. Nora.
Corrupt my little children. Poison the home. No, this is not true. This can never be true. Never, ever. Nobody! No one would come today. It is Christmas Day. Maybe. Oh, nothing is in the mailbox! Oh, nonsense!
Well, I finally found the box with the masquerade costume.
Thank you. Put it on the table.
They're very jumbled.
I want to tear it into 1,000 pieces!
Goodness gracious, they can easily be put in order. Just a little patience.
Oh, I'll go and get Mrs. Linde to help me.
Out again? In this nasty weather? Mrs. Nora will catch a cold, get sick.
Oh, worse things could happen! How are the children doing?
they're playing with their Christmas presents, but
Are they asking for me?
they're so used to having their mama around.
Well, from now on, I can't be with them as much.
Well, little children get used to anything.
Do you believe that? Do you think they'd forget their mother if she were gone?
Goodness gracious, gone.
Oh, tell me, Henrik. I've often wondered. How could you leave your child with strangers?
But I had to, didn't I? When I became little Nora's wet nurse.
But didn't it break your heart?
When I could get such a good position. A poor girl who has gotten herself into trouble can't pass up such an offer. Besides, that good-for-nothing wouldn't do a thing for me.
But hasn't your daughter forgotten you?
Oh, no. She wrote to me, both when she was confirmed and when she got married.
Oh, Henrik, you have been a good mother to me.
Little Nora, poor thing, didn't have any other mother but me.
And I know if my little ones didn't have any other that you would. Talk. Go into them? Now I must. Tomorrow, you'll see how pretty I look.
Oh, yes. There will be nobody at the whole ball as pretty as Mrs. Nora.
Nobody is coming! Nonsense! Silly talk. Just push it away. Push it away! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, they're coming. Christine, it's you? There's no one else out there? Oh, thank goodness you're here.
I heard you came by asking for me.
Yes, I was just passing by. There is something you absolutely have to help me with. Let's sit down. There is going to be a costume party upstairs at the Consul Stenborg's tomorrow night, and Torvald wants me to go as a Neapolitan fisher girl and dance to Tarantella because I learned it on Capri.
Well, you're going to give a solo performance.
Yes, Torvald says I should. I have the costume, but it is just so torn, and I just don't know what to do.
We'll soon get it fixed. Oh, look, the trims come loose here and there. Oh, needle and thread? See, we have what we need.
This is so kind of you, Christine.
Now, you know, I'd like to come over tomorrow night and see you all dressed up. But I completely forgot to thank you for the lovely evening yesterday.
Yes, Torvald knows how to make his home nice and pleasant.
So do you. Now, tell me, is Dr. Rank always so depressed?
No, it was very noticeable yesterday. Though he has a very serious disease. He has softening of the spine. Oh, the poor thing. His father was a despicable creature who kept mistresses and such, and that is why he has been sickly since childhood.
Nora, how do you know such things?
When you have three children, you get help from women who are halfway knowledgeable about medicine, and they tell you things.
Does Dr. Rank come here every day?
Yes, every single day. He and Torvald have been best friends since childhood.
When you introduced us yesterday, he assured me that he had often heard my name in this house, but your husband had no idea who I was. How could Dr. Rank?
Yes, Torvald is so incredibly fond of me. He wants me all to himself, as he puts it. He used to become very jealous if I even mentioned any of my friends from home. So of course I stopped. But with Dr. Rank, I can always talk about things like that. He likes to listen to me.
Listen here, Nora. You are still a child in so many ways. I'm a little older and have some more experience. You should see to it that you get rid of this thing with Dr. Rank.
What thing with Dr. Rank?
Well, yesterday you told me of a young gentleman who
doesn't exist, unfortunately.
Is Dr. Rank wealthy?
Yes, he is.
And he has no one to support?
No, nobody, but...
And he comes here every single day?
Yes, I told you he does.
And he calls himself a gentleman?
I don't understand you at all.
Don't pretend, Nora. Don't you think that I can't figure out where you borrowed the money from?
Oh! Have you lost your mind? How could you imagine anything like that? A friend of ours who comes here every single day. That would be a terribly awkward situation.
So really, it wasn't him?
No, I assure you. It never occurred to me for a moment. Besides, he didn't have any money to lend at the time anyways. He inherited it afterwards.
Well, I think that's lucky for you.
It would never enter my mind to ask Dr. Rank. But still, I'm pretty sure that if I did...
But you wouldn't do that.
No, of course. I can't imagine it'd be necessary. But when you pay off all that you owe, you get the note back, right?
Yes, of course.
You can tear it into 100,000 pieces and burn it up. Oh, the disgusting, filthy thing.
Nora, you're hiding something from me.
How can you tell?
Something's happened here since yesterday. Tell me what it is.
Christine, oh, hush. Torvald's home. Look, go and sit with the children for a moment. Torvald can't stand the sight of mending. Let Anne-Marie help you.
I'm not leaving until you tell me what's happened.
Oh, how I've waited for you, Torvald, dear.
Was that the seamstress?
No, it was Christine. She's helping me mend my costume. You can't imagine how beautiful I'll be.
Yes, wasn't that a good idea I had?
Splendid.
You're going to rehearse, I suppose?
And you're going to work?
Yes.
Torvald,
Yes?
if your little squirrel begged you ever so sweetly for one thing, would you do it?
I must know what it is first.
The squirrel would run around and do tricks if you said yes.
Out with it.
Torvald, I would play a fairy and dance in the moonlight for you.
Nora, it's not the same thing you hinted at this morning, is it?
Yes. Oh, Torvald, I beg you.
You really have the stomach to drag it up again.
Yes. Yes, you must give in to me. Oh, you must let Krogstad keep his position at the bank.
My dear Nora, I have decided to give his position to Mrs. Linde.
And that is enormously kind of you. But surely you can just fire someone else.
Unbelievable.
It's for your own sake. Krogstad writes in the nastiest newspapers. You said so yourself. He could do so much damage to you, to your reputation. Oh, I am so afraid.
I see. You're scared of old memories.
What do you mean?
You're thinking about your father.
Yes. Yes, remember how those evil people wrote about Papa and slandered him? It was terrible. The department would have fired him if they hadn't sent you there to investigate, and if you hadn't been so kind and helpful to him.
There's a considerable difference between your father and me. Your father was a public servant, not above reproach. But I am. And I plan to stay that way as long as I'm in a position of public trust. The success of the bank depends on their reputation.
But no one knows what evil people could invent. Oh, we could have such a good, happy, and carefree home, Torvald. You and me and the children. That is why I sincerely beg you.
The fact that you beg for him makes it impossible for me to keep him. Everyone at the bank knows I'm going to fire Krogstad. If there's a rumor that the new bank director allowed himself to be swayed by his wife...
Yes, and what then?
I'd be a laughingstock. People would think that I'm easily manipulated by all kinds of foreign influences. I have my reasons. It would be impossible to work with him.
What are they?
I might have been able to overlook his moral shortcomings.
Yes, that's true, isn't it?
And he is supposed to be very good at what he does. But he was an acquaintance of mine in law school. It was one of these hastily made friendships which later in life embarrasses you. You may as well know. We are on a first-name basis. And Krogstad is not hiding that fact around others. The opposite, in fact. He flaunts it. He persists with Torvald at every opportunity. He would make my position at the bank insufferable.
Torvald, these are only petty things.
What do you mean, petty? You think I'm petty?
No, the opposite, dear Torvald, and because of that.
Well, you call my grounds for action petty, then I may as well be petty. Yes, indeed. I'll put an end to all this. Helene!
What do you want?
A decision. See here. Take this letter, get hold of the messenger, and have him deliver it. Quickly, the address is on the envelope. Here's money.
Very well. Torvald, what was in that letter?
Krogstad's notice.
Get it back, Torvald!
Nora, I forgive you this anxiety, even though it is insulting to me. It is. I'm not afraid of some vindictive lawyer. I have the courage and the strength to take on anything life throws at me. I can do that for both of us.
That is something you will never, ever do. But please get it back. There's still time. Do it for my sake. For your own sake. For the sake of the children. Do you hear, Torvald? Do it! You don't know what this can do to us!
Too late.
Yes. It's too late. You mustn't go into Torvald yet. I think he is busy with something.
And you?
Well, for you, I always have time to spare. You know that.
Thank you so much. I will make use of that time for as long as I can.
What do you mean by that?
Does that phrase startle you?
Well, it is a strange way of putting things. What could happen?
Exactly what I knew it would happen. Still, I didn't think it would come quite so soon.
What did you find out? Oh, Dr. Rank, you must tell me.
It's all going downhill. There's nothing to be done about it.
You.
Who else? I am the most miserable of all my patients, Mrs. Helmer. It can't do any good to lie to myself. There is one examination left, and when I'm done with that, I will know approximately when the final disintegration will begin.
Oh, shame. What ugly things you said.
This isn't ugly. The worst thing is, there will be much more ugliness. There's something that I want to ask you. Helmer has a delicate nature. He can't stand anything ugly. I don't want him to come to my secret.
Oh, but
No, I
Dr.
don't
Rank.
want to have him there. In no way. I will close my door to him. As soon as I have complete certainty about the worst, I will send you my visiting card with a black cross on it, and then you will know the devastation has begun.
You certainly are impossible today. And I was hoping you'd be in a really good mood.
With death at hand? And to do penance for someone else's guilt? Is there any justice in that? Well, in every single family, some kind of retribution is exactly
Nonsense! Oh, cheer up. Cheer
Yes. I suppose there's nothing to do but laugh. My poor innocent spine must suffer from my father's happy lieutenant days.
And he was so addicted to asparagus and pâté de foie gras. Wasn't that so?
Yes. and to truffles.
Yes, truffles, yes, of course. And to oysters, I believe.
Yes. Oysters, of course.
And all that port, champagne. Well, it is a shame that all these delicious things must attack your bones.
Especially when they attack unfortunate bones.
Yes, that is the saddest of them all. Why did you smile?
No, it was you who grinned.
No, it was you who smiled, Dr. Rank.
I think you are a bigger rogue than I had realized.
I am primed for mad things today.
So it seems.
Dear Dr. Rank, you will not die and leave Torvald and me.
You will easily get over the loss. One who passes on is soon forgotten.
Do you believe that?
Both you and Helmer will forge new friendships when I am gone. You are well on your way, it seems. What was this Mrs. Linde doing here last night?
But you can't be jealous of poor Christine.
Yes, I can. This woman will become my successor in this house. Perhaps when I have expired, this female will...
Shh, don't speak so loudly. She is in there.
Again, today. Well, there you see.
My God, how unreasonable you are. Only to mend my costume. Now be good, Dr. Ray. Tomorrow, you'll see how beautifully I dance. And you will imagine I'm doing it only for you. And, of course, for Torvald, too. Oh! Sit down, Dr. Rank. There is something I want to show you.
What is it?
Look here. Look.
Silk stockings.
Flesh-colored. Aren't these gorgeous? Yes, it's too dark in here now, but tomorrow... No. No, no. You will only get to see the foot. Well, you might as well get to see the upper part, too. Why do you look so critical? Are you afraid they won't fit?
I cannot possibly have any opinion about that.
Oh, shame on you, Dr. Rank. That's what you deserve.
And what other wonders will I get to see?
You won't get to see a smidgen more because you're being naughty.
When I'm here, like this, together with you, I can't fathom what would have happened to me if I have never come here, to this house. And to have to leave it all.
Oh, nonsense.
And not to be able to leave behind barely a poor sign of gratitude, fleeting regret. Nothing but an empty space which can be filled by whoever shows up first.
And if I asked you now for...
For what?
No.
For what?
For great proof of your friendship?
Yes, yes.
No, I mean for an enormous favor.
Will you, for once, make me so happy?
You don't know what it is.
Tell me.
Oh, I can't, Dr. Rank. It is something so unreasonably big. Some help and advice and a favor.
All the better. I can't fathom what you mean. Will you please tell me? Don't you trust me?
Yes, of course. Like no one else. You are my truest and best friend. So, I want to tell you. there is something you could help me to prevent, you know how dearly, how deeply Torvald loves me. He would not hesitate to give his life for my sake.
Nora, do you really think that he's the only one who would gladly give his life for your sake?
Yes, well...
I swore to myself that you should know before the end, and I will never find a better opportunity. So, yes, Nora. Now you know. And now you know that you can confide in me.
Let me...
Nora.
Helene! Bring the lamp in here. This was badly done of you, Dr. Rank.
That I love you as deeply as anyone else. That was badly done.
No, but that you went ahead and said it. That wasn't at all necessary.
What do you mean? Then, did you know all along? Nora, Mrs. Helmer, I ask you, have you known all along?
Oh, what do I know? What I did or didn't know, I really can't tell you. But that you could be so clumsy, Dr. Rank. Everything was so pleasant.
Well, in any case, you now have assurance that I will stand ready to advise you with body and soul. So, will you please tell me?
After this.
Don't punish me like this. Let me know what it is.
You can know nothing now.
Allow me to do whatever is humanly possible.
You can do nothing for me. Besides, I really don't need any help. It was just my imagination. Yes, of course. Well, you certainly are a fine gentleman, Dr. Rank. Aren't you a little ashamed now that the lamp is
No! Lit? No, actually not. But maybe I should leave forever.
No, you will come here as before. You know Torvald can't live without you.
And you?
Oh, I always think it is tremendously pleasant when you are here.
That was exactly what lured me onto the wrong track. You are an enigma to me. There were times I thought you'd rather be with me than with Helmer.
Yes, well, you see, there are some people that you love best, and others you'd rather be with. When I was in Papa's house, I loved Papa best. But I always thought it was enormous fun to sneak down to the maids' rooms because they never lectured me. Oh, to hear them laugh and talk amongst themselves.
I have replaced the maids.
Oh, my dear, kind Dr. Rank. I didn't mean it like that. But you can see, can't you? Torvald is like Papa. Madam. Oh. Oh.
Something wrong?
No, no, it's only some... It's my costume.
Isn't that your costume?
Yes. Yes, but this one is another one that I've ordered. Oh, Torvald mustn't know that I...
Aha! There we have the big secret.
Yes, exactly. Oh, go into him He's sitting in his office. Keep him busy a while.
Rest assured, he will not get away from me.
And he is standing there, waiting in the kitchen.
Yes. He came up the back stairs.
Didn't you tell him that someone was here?
Yes, but it didn't help.
He won't leave?
He won't leave until he gets to speak with the missus.
Yes, then show him in, quietly. But, Helene, you must not tell anyone. It's a surprise for my husband.
Yes. Yes, I understand.
This must not happen. Will not happen. Keep your voice down. My husband is home.
It doesn't matter.
What do you want with me?
Answers.
Then hurry up. What is it?
I suppose you know I've received my notice.
Couldn't have prevented it, Mr. Krogstad. I fought to the utmost of my ability on your behalf, but it didn't help.
Doesn't your husband love you at all? He knows what I can do to you, and he dares
How
to.
could you think that I have told him?
Oh, I didn't think that you had. It's not like my good Torvald Helmer to show so much manly courage.
Mr. Krogstad, I demand respect for my husband.
Goodness, all due respect. But since you're keeping our business so anxiously hidden from him, I assume you now have a better understanding of what you've actually done?
What do you want with me?
I wanted to see how you were doing, Mrs. Helmer. I've been thinking about you all day. You know, even a shady lawyer, a hack journalist, well, someone like me has a little thing called a tender heart.
Then show it. Think of my small children.
Have you and your husband thought of mine? Doesn't matter. I will not bring a case against you immediately. The whole thing can be settled amicably. It doesn't need to be made public. It will remain between the three of us.
My husband must never know about any of this.
How will you prevent that? Can you pay off the entire debt?
No, not
Or do you have
right
some
away.
way of raising the money in the next few days?
No way that I'd care to.
Well, that wouldn't help you. Even if you were standing here with large amounts of cash, you still couldn't pry the note from my hands.
What are you going to do with it?
I just want to keep it. To have it in my possession, no outsider will get wind of it. If you happen to be considering something desperate, or if you are thinking of running away from home, or if you are thinking of something even worse,
How can you know that?
then you need to forget about that.
How could you know I am thinking of that?
Most of us think of that to begin with. Honestly, I considered it, but I didn't have the courage.
I don't either.
You don't either.
I don't.
It would be a very stupid thing to do. As soon as the first domestic storm is blown over, I have a letter here in my pocket to your husband.
And it says everything.
As gently put as possible.
Then tear it to pieces. Oh, tell me how much you're demanding from my husband, and I will get it.
I don't want money from your husband.
What do you want then?
I want to stand on my own 2 feet again, Mrs. Helmer. I want to move up in the world, and your husband will help me do that. For a year and a half, I have not been guilty of anything dishonorable. All that time, I have struggled under dire circumstances. I won't be satisfied with my old position. I want advancement. I want to be back at the bank, but in a higher position. Your husband will create that for me.
He will never do that.
He will do it. I know him. He won't dare say a word. Once I'm there, you'll see. Within 1 year, I will be the bank director's right hand. It will be Niels Krogstad, not Torvald Helmer, who runs the stock bank.
Oh, you? will never live to see that happen. I have the courage to do it now.
You won't do it. A fine, fastidious lady like yourself.
You'll see. You'll see.
Oh, under the ice, perhaps? Down in the cold, cold black water, floating up in the spring, ugly, unrecognizable, bloated with your hair falling out.
You can't scare me!
You can't scare me either! People don't do such things, Mrs. Helmer. Besides, what good would it do? Are you forgetting that I'll control what they say about you after you're dead? Don't do anything stupid. As soon as your husband receives my letter, I'll expect a message from him. Remember that it is your husband who has forced me down this path. I will never forgive him for that. Goodbye, Mrs. Helmer.
Leaving. Doesn't drop the letter. No, of course, that would be impossible. He's not walking downstairs. Is he having second thoughts? It's in the mailbox. Oh, there, Torvald! Oh, Torvald, now we're lost!
All mended. Should we try it on? Oh, what's wrong? You look upset.
Come here. Do you see that letter there?
Yes, I see it.
It's from Krogstad.
Nora, Krogstad lent you the money.
Yes, and now Torvald will know everything.
Believe me, it's for the best.
There's more I didn't tell you. I forged a signature.
For heaven's sake.
I only want to say this, Christine. You must be my witness.
Witness? What?
If there was someone who wanted to take all of the blame, the whole burden, everything on himself, you understand?
But surely...
Then you must bear witness that it is not true. I alone did it. No one else knew about it. Remember that?
Yes, I will. But I don't understand.
How would you be able to understand? Because now, the wonderful thing will happen.
The wonderful thing?
Oh, the wonderful thing. But it's so horrible, Christine. It must not happen.
I'll go and talk to Krogstad right away.
Don't go. He's dangerous.
There was a time where he gladly would have done anything for me.
What?
Where does he live?
Oh, how would I know? Oh, his card. But the letter.
Nora!
Oh, what is it? What do you want?
Well. Don't get so alarmed. We're not coming in. You blocked the door. Are you trying on your costume?
Yes, I'm trying it on. I will look so lovely, Torvald.
He lives right around the corner.
Yes, but that doesn't help. The letter is in the mailbox.
And your husband has the only key?
Yes.
Krogstad could demand his letter back unread. He could invent an excuse.
But Torvald usually checks the mailbox around this
Delay
time.
it. Go talk to him. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Oh, Torvald!
Well, am I finally allowed back into my own living room? Come, Rank, now we'll get to see. What is this?
What, Torvald, dear?
Well, Rank prepared me for some sort of magnificent costume surprise.
That's what I thought. But clearly I was mistaken.
Yes. No one will be allowed to admire me in my full splendor until tomorrow.
Nora, dear, you look strained. Have you been rehearsing too much?
No, I can't get anywhere without your help. I have completely forgotten everything.
will soon refresh your memory.
Oh, yes. Take me under your wing, Torvald. Oh, promise me that. I am so anxious. The big party. You must devote yourself completely to me this evening. Not an ounce of business. What do you say, Torvald, dear?
I promise. This evening I will be completely at your service. You helpless little thing.
Oh, what do you need out there?
I just want to see if there's any mail.
No, no, Torvald. Don't do that.
Just let me check.
I can't dance tomorrow if I don't rehearse with you.
Nora, are you really so nervous?
Yes, enormously nervous. Oh, let's rehearse right now. There's still time before dinner. Oh, sit down and play for me, Torvald. Correct me. Guide me.
With pleasure. With great pleasure, since you wish it.
Play for me. I want to dance.
No, this won't do at all.
Isn't that what I was telling you?
Let me play for her.
Yes, do. Then I can direct her. Life depended on it.
It does.
Greg, stop. This is just pure madness. Stop. Stop. Unbelievable. You have forgotten everything I've taught you.
I told you. Oh, you must rehearse me up to the last moment. Do you promise, Torvald?
Oh, you can count on it.
You will not think of anything but me. You will not read any letter, not open the mailbox.
Nora. I can tell by looking at you. There's a letter from that person.
I don't know. I think so. But don't read it now, Torvald. Nothing ugly must come between us until everything is over.
You shouldn't contradict.
The child will have her wish, but tomorrow night after you've danced, then...
Then you are free.
Ma'am, the table is set.
Oh, we will have champagne, Helene.
Very well.
Well, what's this, a feast?
Champagne feast till dawn. Oh, and macaroons, Helene! Lots of them! For once.
Why so wild? Now, be my little lark, like you usually are.
Yes, I will. But go in, and Dr. Rank, you too. Christine, will you help me put up my hair?
There isn't anything... She isn't expecting, is she?
No. No. It's simply that childish anxiety that I told you about.
Well, gone out to the country. He'll be back tomorrow night. I wrote him a note.
You should have let that be. You mustn't prevent anything. Deep down, it is a great joy. This here, waiting for the wonderful thing.
What are you waiting for?
Oh, you wouldn't be able to understand. But go in. I'll be there in a moment. Bye. 7 hours till midnight, then 24 hours till next midnight. Then the tarantella will be over. 24 and 7. 31 hours left to live.
Whatever happened to my little songbird?
Here she is!
note. What does it mean?
I need to talk to you.
Here? In this house?
It's impossible at the boarding house. My room has no private entrance. Come in. We're alone. The maid is asleep and the Helmers are at a party upstairs.
The Helmers are dancing this evening? Really?
Yes, why wouldn't they?
True enough. Why wouldn't they?
Krogstad, let's talk.
Do we have anything more to talk about?
We have a great deal to talk about.
I don't think so.
No, because you never fully understood me.
What was there to understand? It happens every day. A heartless woman sends a man packing as soon as she gets a better offer.
Do you really believe that I am so completely heartless? Do you think it was easy for me to break things off with you?
Wasn't it?
Krogstad, you really believed that.
Then why did you write me the way you did?
What else could I do? When I broke things off with you, I thought that it was my duty to destroy all of the feelings that you had for me.
So that's why. All of this, and for money.
Remember, I had my mother and my 2 small brothers to think of. We couldn't wait for you, Krogstad. Your prospects were so uncertain.
Maybe, but you didn't have the right to reject me for someone else.
I don't know. I have asked myself many times if I had the right to do that.
When I lost you, it was as if all solid ground slipped away from under my feet. Look at me now! I'm shipwrecked. I am a man adrift on a wreck.
Help is close.
It was close! And then you got in the way!
I didn't know. I only found out today that I'm your replacement at the bank.
I believe you. But now that you know, won't you step aside?
No, because it wouldn't benefit you at all.
Benefit? Benefit? I would do it.
I've learned to act sensibly. Life and bitter hard necessity have taught me that.
And life has taught me not to believe in platitudes.
Well, then life has taught you a very valuable thing. But you still believe in action?
What do you mean?
You said that you are like a shipwrecked man adrift on a wreck.
I have good reason to say that.
I am like a shipwrecked woman clinging to a wreck. No one to mourn, no one to care for.
That was your choice.
At the time, I had no other choice.
So?
Krogstad, if we 2 shipwrecked human beings could reach for each other.
What are you saying?
2 on one wreck can survive better than each drifting alone.
Christine.
Why do you think I came to town?
You were thinking about me?
I must work if I am to endure life. To work has been my best and only joy. But now I'm standing here empty and forsaken. To work for yourself, there is no joy in that, Krogstad. Give me something and someone to work for.
I don't believe this. This is nothing more than self-sacrificing, hysterical female pride.
Have you ever known me to be hysterical?
Could you really do this?
Yes.
Tell me, you know all about my past?
Just then you sounded like you could have been a different person with me.
Yes.
Couldn't that still happen?
Christine, are you serious? Yes, you are. I can see it in your eyes. You really have
I
the
need
courage
someone to be a mother to. And your children need a mother. We need each other, Krogstad. I have faith in you, who you are. I can face anything with you.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you. But I forgot.
Shh. The tarantella. Go.
Why?
Go.
What is it?
Do you hear that music upstairs? When it's over, they'll be back down.
Oh, yes. I'll go. It's all pointless anyway. You don't know what I've done to the Helmers.
Yes, Krogstad, I know.
And you still have the courage to...
I know where desperation can push a man like you.
If only I could undo what I've done.
You could. I think your letter's still in the mailbox.
So that's why. You want to save your friend. Is that it? Just tell me straight.
A woman
Is that
who
it?
has sold herself for the sake of others does not do it again.
I'll ask for my letter back.
No.
Yes, I'll wait here until the Helmers come down. I'll tell him he shouldn't read it, that it's only about being
Don't ask
fired.
for the letter back.
Wasn't that why you wanted to see me?
Yes, at first. But I have witnessed unbelievable things in this house. Helmer must know everything. This unfortunate secret must be brought to light. Now go. Go. The dance is over. We're not safe a moment longer.
I will wait for you downstairs.
Yes, do. You may walk me home.
I have never been this unbelievably happy.
No, I don't want to leave so early. I want to go back upstairs.
Dearest Nora.
Oh, I beg you. I implore you. I beg you with all of my heart. Just one more hour.
Not a single minute, my sweet. We had an agreement. There now. Get in the room. Catch a cold standing out here.
Good evening. Christine.
What? Mrs. Linde? Here this late?
Yes, I wanted to see Nora all dressed up in her costume, but you had already gone upstairs. I couldn't leave without seeing her.
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she remarkably lovely?
Yeah.
That was the general consensus upstairs.
Yes, I must say.
But terribly obstinate. The sweet little thing. What will we do about that? Imagine, Mrs. Linde, I almost had to use force to get her to leave.
Torvald, you'll regret you didn't let me stay just another half hour.
Hear for yourself, Mrs. Linde. Nora dances the tarantella. Thunderous applause, which was well deserved, although there was perhaps a bit too much nature in the execution. The main thing is she's successful. She is tremendously successful. How could I let her stay after that? Weaken the effect? No thanks. I took my lovely little Capri girl under the arm. Capricious little Capri girl. A quick bow to all sides. A quick sweep around the room, and as they say in the novels, the beautiful apparition vanished. An exit must always be effective, Mrs. Linde. I can't seem to make Nora understand that. It's warm in here. It's dark. Oh, of course. Excuse me.
Well,
Nora, you must tell your husband everything.
I knew it.
You have nothing to fear from Krogstad, but you must tell your husband.
I will not.
Then the letter will.
Thank you, Christine. Now I know what I must do.
Well, Mrs. Linde, are you done admiring her?
Yes, and now I will say goodnight.
What? Already? Is that knitting yours?
Oh, yes, I almost forgot it.
Knitting is simply ugly. You should embroider. That was really a marvelous champagne they served.
Good night, Nora. And don't be obstinate anymore.
Well spoken, Mrs. Linde.
Good night, Mr. Director.
Good night. Good night. You'll get home all right, I hope. I'd like to see you home, but it's not very far. Good night. Good night. Finally, she's a terrible bore.
Are you very tired, Torvald?
Not at all. I feel enormously invigorated. You? You really look tired.
Yes, but soon I'll sleep.
But did you notice how lively Rank was tonight?
Who was he? I didn't get to speak with him.
I almost didn't either. I haven't seen him in such a good mood in a long time. It is wonderful, though, to be home, to be alone with you.
Don't look at me like that, Torvald.
Can't I look at my dearest possession? At all the loveliness that is mine? Mine alone, mine completely?
You can't speak like that to me tonight.
I see. You still have the tarantella in your blood. Makes you all the more alluring. Listen, the guests are starting to leave. Nora, soon the whole house will be quiet.
Yes, I hope so.
Yes, you do, don't you, my own darling Nora? Do you know, when I'm out with you, do you know why I speak so little to you, keep so far away from you, only send you a stolen glance every now and then? Do you know why I do that? Because then, I imagine that you are my secret lover, and that no one suspects that there's a thing between us.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, I know you are thinking only of me.
And when we're leaving, and I drape the shawl around your beautiful, youthful shoulders, around this wonderful curve of the neck, then I imagine that you are my young bride, and that we've just come from our wedding, and for the first time, I'm bringing you into my home. For the first time, I'm alone with you, quite alone. Young, trembling. This whole evening, I've desired only you. When I saw you dance the tarantella, enticing, luring, promising, my blood boiled. I couldn't stand it any longer. That is why I brought you home so early.
Torvald, did you hear?
Who is it?
Me?
What now?
There, come in for a moment.
Just a moment, Dr. Medicine Rank. It's nice of you to stop by on your way down.
I thought I heard your voice and realized I just wanted to look in. These dear familiar hands. You two have a very cozy and pleasant little nest.
You had a pleasant time upstairs.
Splendid. Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I embrace everything in this world as much as I can and for as long as I can? The wine was excellent.
Especially the champagne.
Did you notice that too? It was unbelievable how much I could imbibe.
Dr. Rank, I believe you undertook a scientific examination today.
I did.
Well, little Nora is talking about scientific examinations.
Dare I wish you good luck with the results?
Yes, indeed. You may.
So it was good then?
The best possible. For the physician and the patient. Certainty.
Certainty.
Complete certainty. So, shouldn't I have a wonderful evening after that?
Yes, you should.
I say so too. Just don't end up paying for it tomorrow.
Well, as you know, you don't get anything in life for free.
Dr. Rank, what should you and I be at the next masquerade?
You and I? I'll tell you. You will be a child of good luck.
Yes, but come up with a costume.
Let your wife come as she is. As she stands and walks.
That was aptly put. But what will you be?
My dear friend, at the next masquerade, I will be invisible.
That's a funny idea.
There is a big black hat. Haven't you heard of the invisibility hat? Well, it is put on you. And then no one in the world can see you.
You're right.
But I am forgetting what I came here for. Helmer, give me a cigar. One of the dark Havanas.
With great pleasure.
Thank you.
Let me give you a light.
And so, goodbye.
Good night. Good night, dear friend.
Sleep well, Dr. Ray.
Thank you for that wish.
And wish me the same.
You. Well, since you want it. Sleep well, Nora. And thank you for the light.
He's had a lot to drink.
Maybe so. Torvald, what are you doing?
I need to empty the mailbox. It's full. There won't be space for the newspapers tomorrow morning.
Are you going to work tonight?
You know I'm not. What's this? Someone's been at the lock.
At the lock.
Yes. Who could? I've never believed the maids. There's a broken hairpin. Nora, it's yours.
It must be the children.
But you must break them with that behavior. Well, I got it open anyway. See how it's piled up. What on earth is this? 2 visiting cards from Rank. He must have stuck them in when he left. It's really gruesome. Look, there's a black cross above the name. It's as if he were announcing his own death.
He is.
What? Do you know something that I don't? Has he told you something?
Yes. When that card arrives, it's his final goodbye. He wants to lock himself in and die.
My poor friend. I knew I wouldn't be allowed to keep him for long, but so soon. He hides himself away to die like a wounded animal.
If it must happen, Torvald, then it's best it happens without words. Don't you agree?
He becomes so much a part of us. I don't think that I can imagine him gone. His suffering, his loneliness was like a cloudy backdrop to our sunlit happiness. Maybe it's best like this for him. And for us, Nora. Now we only have each other. I don't think I can hold you tight enough. Do you know, Nora, that I often wish some impending danger would threaten you so I could risk life and limb and everything. Everything for your sake.
Read your letters now, Torvald.
No, not tonight. I want to be with you.
With the thoughts of your friend's death.
You're right. We are both shaken by it. Something ugly has come between us. Thoughts of death and decomposition. But we need to free ourselves from these thoughts.
Torvald. Good night. Good night.
Good night, my little songbird. Sleep well, Nora.
Never see him again. Never. Never, never, never see the children again either. Oh, the ice-cold black water. Oh, the bottomless, this. If only it were over and done with. He has it. He is reading it. Oh, no, not yet. Torvald, goodbye. To you and the children.
Nora? Do you know what this letter says?
Yes, I know what it says. Let me go. Let me out.
Where do you plan to go?
You must not save me, Torvald.
It's true. It's true what he writes? Horrible. No. No. It is impossible that this could be true.
It is true. I have loved you more than anything in the world.
You wretched creature. What have you done?
Let me go. You must not bear it for my sake. You must not take it on yourself.
Enough melodrama! You will stay here, and you will give me a full account of yourself. Do you understand what you've done to me? Answer me! Do you understand?
Yes. Now I am beginning to.
What a horrific rude awakening. For 8 years, she, my joy and pride, a hypocrite, a liar, worse, a criminal! There's no bottom to this ugliness. I should have known. All of your father's irresponsible... Shut up! All of your father's irresponsible traits you inherited. No religion, no morals, no sense of duty. Oh, this is my punishment for being so easy on him. I did it for your sake. And this is how you repay me.
Yes, this is how.
You've destroyed all my happiness. You have ruined my future. This is too horrible to contemplate. I am in the clutches of an unscrupulous person. I am in his power. He can do what he wants with me. Demand anything of me, and I don't dare object. I am sinking down to the bottom because of an irresponsible woman.
When I am gone, you will be free.
Enough! Your father had such expressions at the ready. How would it benefit me if you were gone? Not at all. Krogstad can make the thing known, and if he does, people might think that I am behind it, that I encouraged you. Do you have any idea what you've done to me?
Yes.
This is so unbelievable. I cannot regret. We must straighten this out. Take off the shawl. Take it off! I must appease him somehow. The thing must be hushed up at any price. As far as you and I are concerned, it must appear as it was before. Of course, only in the eyes of the public. You will remain here in this house. You will not be permitted to bring up the children. I don't trust you with them. I have to say this to you. You, who I loved so dearly, and still. Well, that's past. From now on, it's no longer about happiness. It's about preserving what's left. The wreckage, stumps, appearances. What is it? It's so late. Hide yourself, Nora. Say that you're sick.
A letter came for the missus.
Give it to me. Go back to bed. It's from him. I'll read it.
Read it.
Nora? Nora, yes! Yes, that's what it says! I'm saved, Nora, I'm saved!
And me.
You too, of course, we are saved. Both of us, both you and me. Look, here. He sends back your promissory note. He says that he regrets and is sorry. A happy turn in his life. It doesn't matter what he writes. We are saved, Nora. See there? It no longer exists. He wrote that ever since Christmas Eve, these last 3 days must have been horrible for you.
Yes, I have fought a hard battle.
And suffered agonies not seeing any other way out, then. No. No, we don't want to remember all this ugliness. We want to rejoice and repeat. It's over. It's over. What's this? This stern look. I understand. You don't trust that I've forgiven you. But I have. I swear to you. I know what you did out of love for me.
That is true.
You have loved me as a wife should love her husband. You just didn't know how to judge the proper path. Do you think that you're less dear to me because you don't understand how to act on your own? I wouldn't be a man if this feminine helplessness didn't make you doubly attractive. You must forget the harsh words I said when I thought the world was crashing down over me. I swear to you, I've forgiven you.
Thank you for your forgiveness.
No, stay. What are you doing in the alcove?
Throwing off my costume.
Yes. Do that. Settle down. Calm your mind. Regain your balance, my scared little songbird. How our home is soft and pretty, Nora. It's a nest for you. And I have wide wings to cover you with. Tomorrow, everything will look different. Soon everything will go back to normal. There is for a man something indescribably sweet and attractive, knowing in his heart that he's forgiven his wife. Don't worry yourself about a thing, Nora. I will be both your will and your conscience. What's this, you've changed?
Yes,
Why now, so late?
I'm not sleeping tonight.
But Nora,
It's not so late. Sit down.
you're making me anxious, Nora. I don't understand you.
That is just it. You don't understand me, and I haven't understood you until tonight. No, do not interrupt me. Listen to what I have to say. This is a settling of accounts.
What do you mean by that?
Doesn't one thing strike you about the way that we are sitting here?
What would that be?
We have been married for 8 years. This is the first time that we two, husband and wife, are speaking together about serious things.
Should I be constantly involving you in the concerns of a man's world, which you can't possibly help me with?
I am not talking about that. I am saying that we have never sat seriously together to try to get to the bottom of anything.
Darling Nora, would you have wanted to?
That is just the point. You've never understood me. I have been wronged. First by Papa and then by you.
What? By the two people who have loved you more than anyone else in the world.
You never loved me. You only thought it was enjoyable to be in love with me.
Nora, what are you saying?
When I was in Papa's home, he told me all of his opinions. And so I had the same opinions. And if I had other ones, I hid them because he wouldn't have liked that. He called me his doll child. And he played with me like I played with my dolls. Then I came to your house.
Is this how you're describing our marriage?
You arranged everything according to your tastes. And so I acquired the same taste as you, or I just pretended to. I really don't know. I think it was both. First one, then the other. Now, when I look back at it, I have lived here like a beggar. I have supported myself by doing tricks for you! But you wanted it that way. You and Papa have committed a great sin against me. Nothing has become of me.
Haven't you been happy here?
No, I've never been. I thought I was, but I've never been.
Not happy?
No, only cheerful. Oh, you've always been so kind to me, but our home hasn't been anything other than a playhouse. Here, I have been your doll wife, like at home I was Papa's doll child, and the children, in their turns, have become my dolls.
There's some truth to what you're saying. However exaggerated and high-strung it may be, from now on will be different. Playtime is over. Now is the time for education.
Whose education? Mine or the children's?
Both?
You are not the man to educate me on how to be a proper wife for you.
You?
And me? How am I prepared to educate the children?
Nora?
Didn't you say you don't trust me with them?
In the heat of the moment, how can you hold that against me?
It was very properly said. I don't have the power to undertake that task. There is something else I must do. I must stand alone. You are not the man to help me do that, so I am leaving you.
What?
I must do it alone. If I am to understand myself and everything around me, I can't stay with you any longer.
Nora. Nora!
I'll leave right away. Christine will take me in for tonight, I think.
You're out of your mind. You cannot. I forbid you.
You cannot forbid me anything now. I will take only what belongs to me. I want nothing from you, now or later.
This is insane.
Tomorrow I'll go home. It'll be easier for me to find something there.
You blind, inexperienced creature.
I must get experience.
Abandon your home? Your husband and your children? Think of what people will say.
I can't.
This is revolting. You can betray your holiest duties.
What are you counting as my holiest duties?
The duties to your husband and your children.
I have other duties equally holy.
What?
Duties to myself.
You are first and foremost a wife and mother.
I don't believe that anymore. I believe I am first and foremost a human being. Or in any case, I will try to become one. I have to think these things through for myself.
You're not clear about your position in your own home. You do have some feeling of morality.
It's not easy to answer that. I really don't know. I only know that my opinion is different from yours. I understand that the laws are different from what I thought they are, but that those laws are just, I can't get that into my head. A woman doesn't have the right to spare her dying father or to save her husband's life.
You speak like a child. You don't understand the society you're living in.
No, I don't. I want to get to know it. Then I will see who's right, society or me.
You're sick, Nora. You have a fever. I think you've lost your mind.
I have never felt as clear or certain about anything as I do tonight.
And clear and certain you abandon your husband and your children?
Yes.
There's only one possible explanation.
What is that?
You don't love me anymore.
That's just it.
Nora!
I no longer love you.
Is this also a clear and certain conviction?
Yes.
Maybe you can enlighten me about how I lost your love.
It was tonight, when the wonderful thing did not happen. It was then that I saw that you are not the man I imagined you to be.
Explain yourself. I don't understand.
When this came crashing in over me, like a huge wave. I was absolutely certain. I thought, now comes the wonderful thing. When Krogstad's letter lay out there, it never entered my mind that you would give in to his demands. I was absolutely certain that you would say to him, make the thing known to the whole world. And when that had happened...
Yes. What then? When I had given my own wife up to shame and dishonor...
When that had happened, I was absolutely certain that you would step forward and say, I am the guilty one. That was the wonderful thing that I was hoping for and feared. And to prevent that, I planned to end my life.
I would gladly work nights and days for you, Nora. Bear grief and deprivation for your sake, but no man sacrifices his honor for the one that he loves.
100,000 women have done just that.
You think and speak like a foolish child.
Maybe, but you don't think or speak like the man that I could be with. When your scare was over, not for what threatened me, but for what might happen to you, it was as if nothing had happened. I was your little songbird, your doll, only now more delicate and frail. In that moment, it became clear to me that for the past 8 years, I have lived here with a stranger, and I had 3 children with him!
I see. I see. A chasm has opened up between us. But Nora, couldn't we fill it back up?
As I am now, I am no wife for you.
I have the power to become a different man.
Perhaps, if the doll is taken from you.
Nora, not tonight. Wait till tomorrow.
I can't stay overnight in a strange man's house.
But couldn't we live here like brother and sister?
You know very well it wouldn't last long. Goodbye. I'll not see the little ones. I know they are in better hands than mine. The way I am now, I can't do anything for them.
You are my wife!
When a wife leaves her husband's home, I have heard, according to the law, he is freed from any obligation to her. I free you from any obligation. There must be full freedom on both sides. Here, have your ring back. Give me mine.
This too.
This too.
Here it is.
Good. Yes. So now it is over. Here are the keys. The maids can take care of the house. They know what to do better than I.
Over. Nora, will you ever think about me?
I will often think of you, and the children, and this house.
Can I write to you?
No, never.
But to send you something?
Nothing.
I must be allowed to
Nothing.
help you. You should need it.
I can't accept anything from strangers.
Nora, can I never be more than a stranger to you?
Then the most wonderful thing of all would have to happen.
Name this most wonderful thing of all to me.
Then you and I would have to transform ourselves such that I don't believe in anything wonderful anymore.
But I want to believe in it. Name it. Transform ourselves such
that life together could become a true marriage. Goodbye.
Nora. Nora! She's no longer here. The most wonderful thing of all. empty.